Home sweet home. Just returned from dinner, and it's quite amazing how quickly the temperature's dropping here in the Russian Far East. I got a message through from Yakutsk this morning to say that the option 500 kilometres southwest of Yakutsk was a bust. Basically, the weather's moving in already, and the people working have shot them through to Moscow. I checked the temperatures and I was staggered. 2.5 weeks ago I was in Yakutsk and it was 25, 27 each day. Now the temperature's maxing out at between 6 and 8 degrees, and the nights are sort of bottoming out at -2, -3, -4. So an amazing drop in a really short time. Today I've spent probably 8 hours inside my hotel room just searching for other options. They're all incredibly difficult, and it was an expectation with this project that each successive shoot was going to get more difficult. It's not my preference, but it's just the reality of the project, and I've just got to keep finding a way to steer through some of the more difficult options. I've spent 8 hours researching an area in northern Chad that I've been looking at for about 18 months, the Tibesti Mountains. It's literally one of the most remote places in the world, and I was told that there is neutron mining going on up there. Neutron is a salt, but I've probably, over the last 12 or so months or more, I've probably dedicated well over 30 hours of research time on the internet alone trying to find evidence that there is salt mining going on up there. And it's in the Central Sahara, and from what I can see, I've found 2 sentences in 2 separate articles referring to, well, they're not even referring to mining. They're saying that neutron is used as a treatment for camels that they use to strengthen them up. So the security situation up there is probably the best of the salt mining options I've been looking at. The Denikil Depression is the lowest point in the world. I think it's about 112, 116 metres below sea level. It's volcanic again, but visually, from what I've seen, it doesn't excite me so much. Another option is northern Mali, which is there's a camel caravan. The trip takes about 3 months to go north from Timbuktu to Tawadeni and back, but it's far too dangerous at the moment to do that. And then there's an option in the Tanir Desert, I think it is, in Niger. Niger has a really, really difficult reputation, and I'm trying to separate out the reputation to see whether the area that they're mining this salt could be sort of separated from the kidnappings and all of that that's going on with Al Qaeda and Boko Haram in that part of the world. They say, from the early reading I've done, says that it's mainly the border areas, but essentially these desert areas through the Sahara are basically lawless and have been for quite some time. So yeah, like as I say, these places do not get any easier, but I really, really want to get the ancient camel caravans carting salt in the book that I'm working on. Back here in the Russian Far East, we had a translator came here this morning and wanted us to go off and see his boss, but his boss wasn't there. So one of the things that I've found this trip particularly, and probably more so than any other trip, the language barrier has been massive, and it hasn't been massive in terms of ordinary communication. That's been fine, no different to anywhere else, and my having sort of been studying Russian has helped. Where it's been difficult is the subtleties of communication, and my needs are very, very specific in terms of this book and this project, and conveying that through both word and communication, whether I'm using a translator or not, has been massively difficult. And I think a lot of the time the people that I'm talking to then run off on tangents and look at options that aren't anywhere near what I'm after. The The hotel owner here has been great. He's looking after my interests and all of that sort of stuff. And he mentioned back where I've come from, Wasnero, there's he's got a mate up there. He's spoken to him. His mate's prepared to come down, pick me up, and take me up there and show me all these people that I'm actually looking for. I'm not hugely confident that this is going to be what I'm after, but maybe I have to go and do it to rule it out like I have everything else. But you know, it's got to happen first as well. So and with the temperatures and weather sort of moving in that part of the world, it's getting more and more difficult. In hindsight, I would probably have come here end of May, early June rather than August. The guys here said to come here in August because that's when things are cranking. But to be quite honest, I think that late May, early June would have been better because I could have bedded down and waited for things to start happening rather than come here when things are supposed to be in full flow and then finding that we can't get near any of them. So yeah, another day in the hotel room, that's cool. I'd rather do that, be looking, searching for places to go and photograph for this book rather than going out doing tourist stuff. I just wouldn't get any enjoyment out of it. So I'm hunting, and hopefully in the next little while I can sort of crack this open a little bit. At the moment I don't feel I'm making a huge amount of progress, but I'm giving it everything. Again, if you're enjoying these updates, it'd be great if you could sign up to my YouTube channel, Hugh Brown Photography. Thanks a lot.